All right, and welcome back. So I'm gonna cut in right here. You remember I talked to you about silicone, right? How I silicone everything? Right there. You can buy that at Ace Hardware. You can get this stuff anywhere. And buy a good quality one. I bought this because it said marine on it. Is it different than any other silicone? Probably not. It's the same price. But CRC makes good quality stuff. I use this on everything. See that little nab right there? That means that if you're spraying like this and the can stops spraying, or you're spraying, you put that where that is. It's on every spray can. Anyway, it's not important. But this is what I do. The rams around the seals. What does that do? Lubricates them, keeps the seals lubricated. I've already applied, you saw I applied that CPC compound on there, that wax compound. I get crazy. Because I'm going to clean this motor and I'm going to polish on it, I'm not going to get crazy with this stuff right now, and I've already applied that on there. But typically I'll take this and when I come home from a trip, and I'll paint down in here. Don't get it here. This is grease only on these slides. You'll jam it up with silicone. You gotta put some grease on there, a little paintbrush or something. All right, so let's lower it down. Yeah, I did. I dropped one of the nuts right in the. Hey, you can even see right now in the sun. You can see that, but it's used fluid. It's still got the blue hue to it. You couldn't see when in the shade. There's no metal or anything in there. It's just used fluid. All right, so let's drop it down. Right about there. I'm going to raise the jack plate up high so I can work under there a little easier. That's a cool sound. I like it. All right. Let me wipe the sweat off of me. All right. I know it's going to dribble out a little more. So I'm going to put that right there. I'm going to take this big old hogger screwdriver. I'm going to take this one off, try not to drop it in the bucket.
Yeah, see you later.
You're in the movies. All right. Gasket looks good. Never change those. They're kind of a lot of these things, that's an O-ring. A lot of these things are on condition. They use a little paper gasket on here. I switched over to a little tiny O-ring. You can buy a little box O-rings at the hardware store, wherever. And that's what I prefer. Pulls in there tight, paper degrades. All right, let me pull the top one out. All right. We're gonna put this one in here. Okay. Let's see, I'm gonna use the new one. I got some left over from last year. So I'm done with this year's. And all this left, I got extra impeller, and I'll supply whoever gets the boat. I'm gonna give you all. I got a climber Mercury shop manual in there, right? That's the manual for all the references, tolerances, procedures for working on the engine, troubleshooting, all that stuff. I just wasn't born with that knowledge. I just have to have the desire to learn. Okay, so how do we do this? We're gonna fill it up until it starts to dribble out the front, or out the top right here. Then I'm gonna put the top plug in. It's gonna create a vacuum. So when I remove the bottom plug, hardly any will come out, and it'll give me time to install the lower plug. Okay, some lower units have two of them. One's a fill and one's a vent. This one does not. It just has the drain and the fill. Okay, our two little plugs ready, and away we go. Look at that pretty aqua blue. High Performance Gear Lube, SAE, Society of Automotive Engineers. What happened to the Society of Marine Engineers? You have to wonder sometimes. I'm sure that this fluid has water resistant characteristics to it and all that. Just, it's 21 bucks. Just use the right stuff, right? You're doing your stuff, don't cheap out. That's what it's saying, right? The sting of being cheap, or the, what was that? I gotta remember. The something about being cheap is long forgotten when you're broke down on the side of the road. You just gladly paid an extra $3, $10, $20. Just keep going. Boy, it's getting hot. So I skipped the gym this morning and some other stuff I had to do. I wanted to get this done. It's on my mind, and because my next 3 days are spoken for, so it'll give me time to go into YouTube and figure all that stuff out. I'm not a YouTuber. This is the first time I've done this stuff. I just like the rest of us, we enjoy watching all of the self-made movie stars on YouTube. I try not to be in the videos. It's not my intent. I just want to show you what I'm looking at. But these are all pretty much on the first takes. I did do a couple redos because I started talking and I would stutter, forget what I was saying, or get off track. Just like then my wife walked up to say goodbye and said, "Hey, you're in the video." But I'm doing most of these as you see it. All right, and I'm learning this whole YouTube thing. It's been a learning curve, and but I'm just trying to take advantage of today's technology. I could post 14,000 pictures, and some guy will text me and say, "Hey, how do you're not?" There it is. All right. How come you're not showing me this? And I can tell you, why am I doing this? All right. Why am I? There's got to be 30 videos. Just like, and my daughter's like, "You're turning into a YouTuber." I said, "No, I'm not, honey. I'm starting to have fun with it." But this is my intent. It took me 2 years to find that boat across the street. I looked and I looked and I wasn't going to settle. And I knew what I was looking for. And of course, I'd love to have a new boat, but at $120,000, $150,000, if you can swing it, great. I'm not that guy. I've always purchased my stuff used since I was a kid. Couldn't afford anything new, and I guess that was ingrained in me that if I wanted something, I found it used and I made it work. I brought it back from the junkyard, from whatever, and I'm that guy that goes to the junkyard. I still go to the I enjoy going to the junkyard. You know what? I go out to get a piece or a part for my truck that's no longer available from the dealer or whatnot, or you got to wait, you know, it's coming from the dark side of the moon and the spaceship only leaves on Thursdays twice a month. I just go out to the yard, pull a part off, and move on down the road. I enjoy being out there. But anyway, with boats, I've had boats my whole life since I was 18. When I purchased this boat, I had another boat. My first boat, I had that boat for, oh goodness, man, 18 years, 19 years. And I did the same thing. I went through the boat. It was a little tri-hull Malibu. It was a Malibu with a 40-horse Merc on it. And I rebuilt that. That was the first outboard I rebuilt. They kept telling me, "Oh, you can't do this, you can't, it's not going to work." And I put it together. I ran that boat, you know, and never had a problem. I took it into the local little boat place. I wanted to get some, I didn't have the tooling for adjusting the timing and all that stuff on the motor. I took it in there. It still had a for sale sign on it. A guy came into the place and bought it. I never saw it again right there. Didn't even haggle price. Gave me the full amount back then for it. And I was like, wow, I didn't think it would happen that quick, but I had this boat in the driveway. And so that was it. And so I've had this boat now for 24 years. And here we are again. I've got that boat across in my neighbor's yard, and it's done. I had that boat now coming up on 2 years. And it took me several months of hard, long work to bring that thing back around. And now It's a 23-foot bay boat with all the bells and whistles, just like all the new bay boats out there. And okay, so it's settled. I'm going to put this one in. Get that screwdriver. Tidy. Like I said, you know, anyway, so get back to why am I doing all this? It's not my intent to be a YouTuber. I don't think beyond this I'll do another one, but unless a special request and I have to get an agent. Well, I know, it's just kidding. But in my 2 years of searching for that boat across the street, I went private owners, stealerships, local boat yards, everybody. I drove halfway across the state. I can tell you stories. The frustration level was incredible with the amount of people, all levels, people that just don't know and they don't care. It's not about knowledge, it's about care. I guarantee you want to figure out how to do something, you figure it out, right? I experienced all the knuckleheads, all the scam artists, all the rip-offs, the liars, the con men, stories, and you know, and I had this, I came to realize one thing, it wasn't what you saw in the ads or what they told you on the phone. And I have talked to people, asked them everything I could think of that wasn't in the pictures that I could think of, and when I got there, it wasn't. The pictures I saw weren't recent pictures, they were when they bought the boat 8 years ago. And now it looks like, you know, it's got an inch of leaves in it and it's just trash and mold and mildew. You hear me say that throughout the boat. No mold, no mildew, no corrosion. Why am I giving you the date and time? Here it is. It's now 10:24 on Thursday morning, and here we go. And you're seeing it. And you'll see this boat listed next week. I don't want to get too far out from the date that I did all this stuff. And I'm going to have these videos attached or linked to the for sale. To the for sale thing. So here we go. That little tiny dribble out of there is fine. Took 3/4 of that quart, pint and a half. I don't treat people that way. I don't know what it is about the boating world. I'm sure. I went to the stealership yesterday and bought this one, same stuff, $21, almost $22. But I wanted it right now. It's only one. If I was buying 4 or 5 or 6 like I do when I do my vehicles, I shop around. I know that stuff isn't $21, but you know what? Because it says Mercury and it's a marine, right away the boat label's attached to it. You need to stay in that realm because a lot of times it does matter. Most of the time it's hocus pocus. And but you know, boating is a luxury. It's not a necessity. And pour the rest of this in that one. I think I have, so I have enough, and you'll get a full service quantity out of these two. So, all right, so there you have it. Let me come back and find a big old puddle on the driveway. There. Okay. So I'm going to lower this thing down, put the hose on it, we'll fire it up. Okay, so this one's 15 minutes. I'm gonna get the hose and all that stuff done. I'll be right back in the next one.